All right, welcome everybody to Hump Day Hangouts. This is episode 337, also known as 337. Today is the 28th of April, 2021. We got the last show in April, and we got most of us here. I think Hernan's off gallivanting around the countryside, or maybe at some business meeting, or who knows what he's up to. But the rest of us are here, ready to go, and we're going to say hello before we jump into the questions. So let me start up top here, and let's see, Chris, you are first, man. How you doing today?
Doing good, super cozy, warm. Spring is definitely here, and my chilies are also like ready. I think it's 2 more weeks or so, and it's harvest season. So never
Okay,
had
hold
chilies
on. I
that
gotta
early.
ask then. What are you growing over there? What kind of chilies?
Well, jalapenos are ones that you probably know, and also yellow. I don't know, like yellow ones that are like this. Yellow lemons. I can't remember the exact name. They're really good.
Cool.
The couple other ones as well. Like I have like, I don't know, like 12 different kinds, and about, I don't know, 50 plants or something like that this year.
Holy cow!
Didn't expect that I have that many actually. Like it's, I don't know, like what's up this year, but like just too many sprung up.
Well, you guys heard it here first. Chris is starting a side business selling chilies. So if you need chilies, go to Chris.
I don't think I'm gonna ship to the States.
I didn't say it was gonna be cheap, but all right. Well, let's keep going. Marco, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. As you can see, well, guys, well, first of all, for those of you who are expecting something else of me, I have my daughter with me today. So I have to be, like, I have to watch my mouth. Not that she hasn't heard daddy go off once in a while, but I got to try to mind my P's and Q's so that she doesn't learn any new words that I might come up with. If I start talking about what's happening with a server, for example, I might just go off the deep end. But instead, what I'm going to say is I'm living the life that I want. As I usually say, you guys are seeing it for over a year now. Warm, sunny, rainy, sunny, always sunny and warm. Or rainy and warm, but always warm, beautiful. This is where I choose to be, my fortress of solitude, my base. You guys haven't seen the POFU video, then by all means go look at it so that you can see where we developed the whole, excuse me, how we developed the whole POFU mindset and why we started doing POFU live so that people could also benefit from how we live, from how we tailor our lives, how we customize our lives to fit our wants, our needs, and not chase after like just everything, all these shiny things, all these buy, that'll lead you to be broke if you're not careful. We have a whole bunch of examples of people going broke because of how they spent their money, even though they had what you would think is a fortune that could never be spent, right? 60, 70 million dollars. How do you go through that? 400 million. Well, you get it stolen from you if you don't know how to be a good custodian of your money and how to manage your money. And so this is where we are. We learn all these things. We learn how to live. We don't let others tell us how to live. We don't let others dictate what we have to do or what we need to do. We tailor our lives. At some point, what I tell people is write your own effing book. Like, I'm not going to say it, but write your own effing book, man. Enough reading the damn books, enough reading all of this self-help shit. You want me to like give you the best advice and it's not going to cost you a penny? Just do something and see it through to the end. Finish it. Finish whatever it is that you start. Don't get stuck in the middle. Don't go off chasing after all this other shit that's meaningless. Train, apply, make money so that you can train someone else to apply and make more money, lather, rinse, repeat. That's free. Now, how that's done might be an investment, but it's really worthwhile because, I mean, you're seeing it in all of our Facebook groups, right? How people just take our shit and apply it and make money. They get crazy results for their clients who then give them more clients and it just snowballs, man. But all of you who are now watching this or are going to watch this at some point and are listening to me, this is just a step. Like the first, it's not even a step. You just started like moving in the right direction to that first step, which is being here and getting this for free. Because I get a lot of money for telling people what I'm telling you here in my consultations, which is do something, whatever it is. Please see it through to the end. Even if you see that are going to fail, you have to make sure that it's a failure so that you don't repeat the steps that got you to that failure, and you can build on that to your eventual success. It's only a temporary failure if you use it as a stepping stone, and it's abject failure if you deal with that as not can't be done, sorry. So it's a lot of gold in there. You guys who want to follow it, see it through. I mean, all it takes is literally that. We take a kind of facetious approach. I do the do. But when you start understanding that and you're actually doing the do, man, that's when the magic happens. And when you just start building on it, more processes, more systems, more money, more clients, better results, which then you can charge more. And now you can have some of the things that you want because you were smart with your money and you saved what you needed to save. And you have this extra income that's disposable and that you can do with as you wish. But it's all a process, and it starts with that first damn step. And if you don't take it, nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to give you money, man. Unless you play the lottery and you get lucky, which is another thing altogether.
Marco, I like it. Yeah, I've got something I review as my kind of personal and business principles every once in a while and add to them and update them as I need to. And one of them I had to write for myself was learn, plan, and take action. All three I have to have because I'm maybe it's the engineering background, but I'm prone to, learning. And so I had to kick myself out of that habit, but you got to have all three. You can't always take action with no learning. You can't plan endlessly. And so I think, yeah, it's a good reminder though. You got to have those three. And at the end, there has to be an action. Otherwise there's nothing behind it and nothing will get done.
And what is it? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. I intend to train. I intended to do that. And meanwhile, you're just sitting there watching kitty videos, all those cats scratching and all that, barfing, whatever, hairballs. And who gives a shit? Go make money so that you can watch the cat videos that you enjoy. Nothing wrong with watching cat videos, by the way. You love cats, watch the damn videos all you want. But make sure that you got the money backing you up so you can sit there for an hour, 2 hours, however long it is that you want to sit there watching cats. That's fine. Nothing against anyone. I'm serious about this. But it's just people waste time on meaningless shit that's not going to make them money. And so that's not going to make money. The logic in that is flawless. You cannot make money with something that's not going to make you money. Please do something, man, and see it through to the end.
Definitely. All right. And Bradley, how you doing today, man?
Well, I'm happy to be here. Busy as hell. I don't think I've been as is obsessed about my work as in many years as I have been lately, and it's just crazy. But the momentum is building. It's crazy. I was telling you guys yesterday during our corporate meeting that I got so many leads coming in from my tree service stuff right now that I've got to hire many more lead buyers because the guys that had been buying leads from me, they can't keep up with them. So I got leads coming in that are like just not even being returned, like calls aren't being returned. And it's crazy because all I've been doing is just applying what Marco and Rob have been teaching in the Heavy Hitter Club. And, I have several dozen GMBs that I've just started using to apply different methods on and testing all different kinds of things. And it's all, kind of coming to a head. It's all bearing fruit now. In other words, I've got so many of these assets that weren't even producing, that we're producing okay, but now it's just crazy. The calls, I mean, it's every single day I'm getting 5, 6, 7 new leads every single day. It's crazy. So, and in fact, I've even got some assets in other locations outside of my normal, Virginia area that are generating leads that I don't have any buyers at all. We're getting 2, 3 leads a day for some of these assets that I don't even have buyers in yet because I'm trying to prospect for, buyers more locally in the meantime. But it's crazy. I just see a lot of potential. There's some of the tools and stuff that we've been using lately. Like I just saw in Conversion AI, Jarvis, they just released a Google My Business post template. So you can write GMB posts with the conversion. We've been doing that anyways, but what we were doing is going out and copying paragraphs out of tree service articles or articles on the web about tree removal, tree trimming, and that kind of stuff, and then just rephrasing them, using Jarvis or Conversion AI, but now it's got like a template writer in it and all that. It's crazy, man. It's getting easier to do this shit. Not harder. It's getting easier.
That's what I tell people. This has always been easy, right? Ranking is the easy part, but it's selling the leads that was the most difficult until you find the providers, man. But yeah, if you guys want to get the how it's done, then I'm sorry, that requires an investment. No, I'm not sorry, because it's 18 years worth of knowledge, more than in my case. It's that's what I'm giving you. That's what you're paying for. You're not paying for something that just came out for a new guy on the block with a new shiny thing. You're paying for 18 years of experience. And so of course that has to be compensated. Bradley's experience has to be compensated. Chris, you, Adam, Hernan, who's not here, all of that experience has a price, but it's an investment. It's not a cost, because if you apply, here we go again. If you apply, if you take that action, you are going to see results, and then you build on that. But it requires action. We have a bunch of people who come through our training, through our methods, and don't take action, or take limited action, or take the wrong kind of action that we don't even have in the training because they saw it somewhere else, and they thought that it in conjunction, all this other shit that's irrelevant. But the point is that it's there. It's a lot of knowledge, a lot of planning and thinking and systems and methods that came into place. And the difference between us, they say that those who can do and those who can't teach, the difference here is that we all do on a daily basis. Businesses ranking people like all over. And we're talking about projects that are in the millions. Fortune 500 companies is what we're talking about. And so it's not something that you're just getting what we teach you. It's what we go and test and apply and then convert into something that's repeatable for us, because we first test through each other to see, okay, can we repeat this? Can I get these results? And when we do, then we formulate the how it is that we're going to introduce it to our paid members. But that's a process. It's not as if we just, oh yeah, we're going to teach you how, and we have no idea how, like many people are doing to you right now if you're paying for those courses, man.
Cool. Well, guys, let's get into it just a sec. I just want to mention to people, if you're new to us, first of all, thanks for watching. If you haven't yet, head over to YouTube, find Semantic Mastery, subscribe. That way, when you ask questions, if you can't attend live, you'll always get notified of when the new episodes come out, or rather the recording, so you can watch your answers as well as stay up to date on what other people are asking. Also, if you're new to us or MGYB or Heavy Hitters Club, where you should go first is theSEOshield.com. That's the word the, then SEOshield.com. It's free training about how to shield your site. You're not going to have to worry about algorithm updates again. Go grab that, check it out. We've got 3 other things we generally recommend depending kind of where you're at. For everyone, we always recommend checking out the battle plan and step-by-step processes for SEO results. You can find out more about that at battleplan.semanticmastery.com. If you're more on the agency owner or maybe consultant side, you want to get more clients, grow your revenue, scale your team, then 2X your agency is what you definitely want to check out, no matter kind of where you're at in there. If you need one of those things, if you need 2 or all 3, but check that out at 2xyouragency.com. And we've mentioned the mastermind today, but if you want already have an agency, you're already a consultant, but you want to network with others, you want more direct access to us as well as many other benefits. You can find out more about that at mastermind.semanticmastery.com. And we've mentioned MGYB and Heavy Hitters Club. MGYB, real quick, if you're not familiar with it, that's where you can get done for you services. All right, things like the SEO Shield, syndication networks, link building, press releases, and a lot more is coming down the line. In fact, as of Marco, correct me if I'm wrong, is it Friday or Saturday that the big update is happening?
Saturday.
Saturday the 1st. So we have actually the 1st and the 2nd to move everything over. May 1st and 2nd to move everything over and have everything up and going by the 3rd.
And we got a big sale going on right now in anticipation of that move. So maybe we ought to make sure we drop the coupons and let people know.
I'm going to pop that in there. And yeah, you guys have got till the end of the week, take advantage in anticipation or in prep for the big update. We wanted to have that sale going on and reward the people who are in there and customers now. So take advantage of that. We are looking forward though to having you be able to use the new backend. There's a lot of updates going. If you're on the email list, you've already heard about this and you know what all the benefits are. If not, you should definitely head over to MGYB hitterclub.co and hop on the list. We'll give you a discount as well, but also so you can stay up to date. And we send out some amazingly good content as well as Semantic Mastery. So either go to Semantic Mastery, go to MGYB, hop on the email list. And then last but not least, Marco, we occasionally talk about this, but Heavy Hitters Club, if somebody wants to find out more or join, where should they be going?
They can go to heavyhitter.club, or they can just go to our free Facebook group and start there. We have a lot of free training. We have a lot of resources that we give away for free, and that people are taking and training and using them to take action. That's a great beginning. But if you want the spicy sauce, I mean the real deal stuff that's going to get you to where the competition is irrelevant, that's only in the members group, in the paid excuse me, the paid members group. We're not giving that for free. So don't expect don't expect Rob's schema training in the free area, although we do some schema in the free training. So if you want to go above and beyond that to where you got a competitor that's bugging you and you just want to get rid of them, that's the way.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, with that said, let's jump into the questions.
Yeah, I saw Austin Dawn. He posted a question about the mastermind, saying that he's in Heavy Hitter Club already, and he's wondering if we're still doing the mastermind specials, which I think we are. But reach out, Austin, to support@semanticmastery.com, and we'll get you sorted out with whatever offers we can do. Since you're already in the Heavy Hitter Club, we'll see what we can do. Just reach out. But he was saying, and we'll get to the question. He said, I got a bunch of clients that he goes, I'm getting overwhelmed and I need to systematize my business. Well, the mastermind is perfect for that, buddy. Trust me, because that's I cover a ton of stuff about automation and developing processes and all that kind of stuff in there. So that is where you want to be for sure. Let me grab the screen, and I'm going to expand upon something that Marcos and Adam were both talking about just a minute ago first, before we get into questions. Not a whole lot of questions right now anyway. So as Adam was saying, stick to something, right? Too many people, I think, and I've been guilty of this myself, but so many people try to, they think that they got to get something right. Like before they can attempt to do anything, they've got to learn and learn and learn and learn. And so that when they do attempt to finally do it, they try to do it right. Right? Does that make sense? They try to learn to the point where that when they finally attempt to do whatever it is that they want to do, that they don't make any mistakes. But don't you understand, the quickest way to learn is to make mistakes, recognize the mistake, course correct, and go and try again. Like the fastest way to learn to do anything is to do more of it, make a mess out of things and figure out how to clean it up. Like that is absolutely the quickest way to learn. And I'm going to talk about this for just a couple of minutes, guys, because this is important. And I just finished a book that's amazing that talks about some of that as well. But this is part of the 2X Your Agency training. In fact, this is week 1. And I'm just going to cover 2 slides here, but this was actually, I think, from the book called Go for No by, I think his name is Robert Fenton. But he talks about in that book that, most people think that they start here and that they're either moving towards success or they're moving towards failure. So like, in other words, people think if they're making mistakes, then they're obviously moving towards failure. But that's really not the case. In reality, this is the way that things go, right? You start here and you move through failure to get to success. Does that make sense? You've got to take action and make mistakes and figure out, recognize the mistakes you make, be aware of the mistakes you made, course correct, make some changes, and then try again. And then that's how you start to learn. And that's, so in other words, don't think of making mistakes as like, oh, I'm a failure and I can't do this and blah, blah, blah. Take a minute, figure out, what it is that caused the mistake and what you can do to do it differently the next time so that you avoid that mistake and make more progress. And it doesn't mean that you're just not going to take one more step forward and not fall flat on your ass again. You may, but then you get up and figure out what you did wrong and how to overcome that obstacle and then do it again. And that's how you get the most progress. Like that's how you make the most progress. Trying to avoid failure, most of the time people will never get started because they want to try to, convince themselves that they have all of the answers before attempting anything. And I've been guilty of that too, but I've learned to just start taking action. Imperfect action will beat perfect inaction any day of the week. Right. And lastly, I just want to talk about this briefly. There's a fantastic book. This is outstanding. I think it's absolutely fascinating. I just finished this one. It's called The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle. And he talks about in that book, specifically that, and I've said this before, but how do you get good at anything? You do more of it, right? And what he talks about in this book is again, I found this book absolutely fascinating. And I listen to it on audio. I very rarely read anymore other than like online stuff, for work, but I usually listen to books. And this one was, I thought it was just a lot. It was easy to listen to. It was entertaining as well. He's got a great sense of humor. So it's a very intellectual book, but he makes it funny as well. Anyways, what's great about what I thought was great about this is he talks about threshold training, or what he calls deep practice. In other words, in trying to learn how to do anything, the best of the best, like the people that are borderline savants in any endeavor, whatever it is that they're, really good at. He's gone around and made a career basically of researching those types of people and what makes them different. How do they get to be exponentially better than anybody else? How do they become world-class performers versus just professional performers, right? So we're talking about the elite of the elites. Like, how do people do that? And so when he goes around, he spent, much of his career kind of researching this stuff and traveling around to what he calls talent hotbeds to figure out like where this kind of talent is cultivated and that kind of stuff. And what he said was that, he watches as people do what he calls deep practice or threshold training, which is where they are, practicing at the edge of their capabilities to where they're making mistakes like fast. They're making mistakes fast and often. But they recognize, and he calls it the HSE, the holy shit effect. It's funny as hell too. And again, he's got a great sense of humor, but he talks about when you see somebody in that deep practice, what he calls threshold training, right? Where they're practicing at the edge of their capabilities, and watch that kind of reaction as they kind of, learn, and like they're so engrossed in what they're doing and all that you can't help but when you're watching it go, holy shit. So he calls it the HSE, the holy shit effect. And it's, I thought this book was really, really good because it kind of just reinforced, doing anything that you want to get really good at. The only way to get good at it is to just start doing it and practice often. And if you can do that, you can get like he's talking about in the book, essentially that, some people are obviously born with some inherent or innate talents, or some level of talent maybe above others in certain respects or regards or whatever. But, talent can be developed. It can absolutely be developed. And that's what he talks about throughout the book. So I would encourage you guys to check it out. If you like listening to books, it was a great audio book. If you like reading, pick it up. Anybody want to comment on that before I get to questions?
Good to go.
Okay. All right, sweet. Let's see. I don't know where we are on this because we weren't here last
scroll
week.
up to, let's
Right
see,
after
Adrian.
CT Fletcher.
Yeah.
Right here?
Yep.
Okay, Adrian says, hey guys, how can I set a file or folder as public on the web if I don't have a public folder or a file? In the Heavy Hitter Club, I think even in the free group, that's revealed.
Free training.
Is that correct?
Free training. Go join go to heavyhitter.club, not .com, .club, heavyhitter.club. Join, and you'll have access to the free training.
Heavyhitter.club, right there. All right, next. 1 GMB posting manager for more than 1 GMB too risky?
Not at all.
I don't think so.
No.
No, I use, I have several manager accounts. I'm using an app called Easy Clout for posting to GMBs when my VAs do anyway, so that it's one manager account, but multiple VAs can access it. But I haven't really had any problems with manager accounts. So anybody else?
No, but I would never give one manager 50 accounts.
Right.
Mitigate the risk.
Yeah.
Because if the manager, for some reason, if the IP gets tagged as dirty for whatever reason, then everything under that is going to go. But you mitigate the risk. I have one that's doing, I don't know, 30, 35. And then another one that I started out recently, not recently, but a few months ago. She's doing 6 or 7 now, maybe more. I know it's about 10. So at some point, I'll just get someone else, and so on and so on. But again, that's just to mitigate the risk. Not that I see any danger, but it's just not putting all my eggs in one basket, not risking all of the clients, like all of the stuff that matters. Got to take all of that into account. I think you can have up to 50, I think it is. I can't remember for sure. 50, 100, I don't know, but I would never put 100 or 50 for that matter in just one account.
Yeah. James says, I have a competitor whose Facebook page ranks in top 10 organic. Should I build links to my Facebook page to rank it organic? Yeah, you can. You certainly can. Facebook pages will rank. And the next question was, what kind of links would be best if so? You can throw kitchen sink spam at Facebook pages. Like, in other words, like whatever kind of links you want to throw at it. Obviously we're going to point you to MGYB because like our king of spam links is Dedia. He's really freaking good at it. He's been doing it for like 10 years, almost 10 years now, I think. So he's really good at that. We've got link building packages that would work great for something like that. But you could pretty much throw any sort of link you want at Facebook pages. They will take it because of all the, it's one of them real high authority type sites that can take anything. Marco?
Yeah, if you want the ones that would be best, it's always tiered, contextual, of course, HTML hyperlinks with relevance from the page to the source. And of course, the source has to be relevant, which is why we developed the link building packages in MGYB the way we did. I worked with Dedia and we spoke about how to categorize the network. He has like 5 million profiles now. Yeah, of course, plus or minus 100,000 at any given point because they do fall out of the index, and you have to, and they get suspended and they get terminated, and so you continuously have to work on it. But these are categorized and they are relevant, and we do provide contextual. And so I would go with Web 2.0 contextuals. Make sure that we will make sure that they're relevant. Dedia makes sure of that. And then the tiered link building works especially well. So you can start at 7,500 at the first tier, one step back. You can build your own. Try to get double that, so 20K, and behind that 40K. Now, of course, it depends on what your budget is. The way that I do it, I shared it in the Heavy Hitter Club group because I do the embed packages and link building the same way. So I will spend money on a package that's about $800 when I'm setting it up. I don't expect you guys to have that kind of budget, especially not monthly. But it's magic when it happens. And then behind that, at the last tier, GSA. And I do the GSA to get them to index better. So there's a method to the madness, the way that this is built out. It's not going to be cheap. So you can start, at something low and get higher as you go up, so that everything gets powered up downstream, so that you're delivering nothing but relevant power when it gets to that Facebook group. That Facebook page. Make sure that the Facebook page is public. It has to be public. Can't do anything to something that's private, because it defeats the purpose of trying to rank it. It's not going to rank. It's private. So nothing private. Make sure that that it is public, and all of that power will get Google to take notice. I guarantee it. And then of course the natural traffic and natural signals have to take over. There has to be a reason for Google want to rank it, which you're giving it. But then there has to be a reason for Google to keep it ranked above all others, which is now the natural
engagement. Yeah.
Engagement takes over. The natural signals take over, and they signal Google that this is something where you're finding, or where people are finding a solution to their problem.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a ton of on-page stuff you can do to help that with the Facebook page too. I mean, guys, a lot of times people don't, like, I know a lot of people don't apply the same sort of like on-page optimization techniques that we would do for like a GMB, for example, to a Facebook page, but you absolutely can. Like geotagged images and all that kind of stuff. You should be doing that. You should also be, posting content that is relevant on the page, that kind of stuff, which will help. Something else that we just discovered in the last, 5 or 6 weeks was that, Facebook videos. So videos on Facebook are starting to appear in Google search results in the video carousel, which I never thought I'd see that. But we're starting to see Facebook video posts indexed in the video carousel that shows up on page 1 of Google. which is crazy. So think about using video too, you know, use keywords in your video, all that kind of stuff. You know, you can upload videos, you can do live streams, you can do things like that, but then you can power those up too by hitting links directly to those. So instead of just hitting your Facebook page, you can hit individual post URLs, video URLs, image URLs, all of the above. So my point is you can optimize your Facebook page and it'll rank. I mean, it'll rank really well. Facebook pages are not that difficult to rank. You just do on-page stuff and then just pound them with links and they'll rank. So any other comments on that? Moving on. So Austin says, I've got a new client niche in addition to real estate. My clients do not have blogs due to the platform they are built on. I'm using the SEO location shields for them. Should I do brand only initial GSites without MGYB, adding a keyword to the brand name in the URL? Hope I made sense. Yeah, that's honestly, Austin, that's the way I do it now for all drive stacks, unless it is like a single location for a business that has like one service, which is very rare that I come across anybody like that. So yeah, all the drive stacks that in GSites that I order now is always the first initial stack, which SEO shield, essentially the SEO power shield is what I get for a new project, is always just the brand name. And then I do RYS expansions for each and every single silo or you know, topical category or for each individual location. So again, I always just do brand now going like, and I have been for 6 months or so now, at least, where I don't even try to make that keyword association to the brand because I do all the keyword associations in the RYS expansions for the topical silos and then for locations, you know, if it's a multi-location business. So that's the way that I do it. Comments? You want to add to that, Marco, or no?
No, I mean, that's fine.
Okay, short and sweet.
No, yeah, that's fine. That's perfect. I don't see anything different that I would add.
Also, is the special still going on with the mastermind group? I'm in heavy hitter. Yeah, that's why I said if you're already in heavy hitter club, just reach out to support at Semantic Mastery and we'll get you the details on if you were to join both. There is a special offer for that. I'm not sure what it is because I don't handle any of that shit. So contact support and we'll get you sorted. Okay. He says he thinks he ordered 10 shields today. That's awesome. Hope you used our coupon. Okay, cool. Dan says, James says, where can we watch? Where can we watch what, James?
I think he means this video. I don't know if he's refreshed the page.
Oh, yeah, James, if you're not seeing well, he won't hear us anyways.
No. Let me drop
refresh the page. It's up here, buddy. If it's not, go to YouTube and you can see it there. There you go.
I posted in there.
There you go. All right, Dan's up. Dan says, hey guys, attempting to buy a link package on MGYB. The same thing is happening as last purchase. It is not allowing me to complete the purchase, but scrolling to top of page over and over again, it brings me to a message saying an account is already registered with your email address. I'm logged in. Okay, I just contact support. Have you contacted support about that already, Dan? I mean, this is not a support forum. Hump Day Hangouts is not a support forum for account related issues. So I would just contact support and we'll get you sorted. Okay. Okay, we're out of questions. It's only 4:30. What do you guys want to do? You want to head out or you got something you want to cover in particular or what?
I was looking at Austin Don's question again, just to make sure it got answered correctly. We're going to do brand anyway on the SEO shield. Now he says he's doing location shield. I'm not sure why you'd be ordering a location shield. Because we always recommend for you to go brand with a new client. We'd recommend for you to go with the branded SEO shield, not a location shield. Because then you expand and do the location in with the expansion stack.
Right. That's what I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we all do. That's what we recommend. That's what we teach. This is a question that we could go way more in depth in the Heavy Hitter Club on Monday during the webinar. But I mean, there's no reason for you to go location like right from the start, especially if they're ever looking to expand. Then you're going to be looking at something that has to be maybe edited or pointed to something else. It just creates more problems than it's worth than if you start branded to start with, which is why we recommend branded. and you did make sense. What I'm saying is, I don't know why location for them, even if they don't have blocks. I mean, that's no difference here or there from your, whether you're using a branded shield, branded, or an SEO location shield.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't even use the location shield just because it's a separate G site.
Yeah.
So I build everything on, like I said, I just landed a new client yesterday, in fact. And so, and I haven't ordered it yet. I'm going to order it today, but the SEO Power Shield, and it'll be the brand name only.
Yes.
And I'll have RYS expansion for the server. He does tree services and landscaping. And I'll probably just do 2 silos. So there will be one specifically, an expansion specifically for tree services, and then another expansion stack for landscaping. And that'll be it. But the top level SEO Power Shield is just going to be the company name. That's it. Which happens to have tree service and landscaping in the company name, which is great. But again, like I used to, I would have the brand name and then, like, tree service or tree service plus city if it was a single location business. But I got away from doing that because I end up, I like just the top level stack, like especially the G site, because I like the slug or the URL, right, of the G site to be just the brand name instead of brand name plus keyword. Because then when you start doing expansions and adding, inner pages and silos on the G site, then you end up with duplicate keywords in the URL, and it looks spammy and it's extra long URL and all that kind of shit. So I like to just stick it. Oh, look, Rob's coming in.
Yeah, I asked him to come on, or he wanted to come on and talk a bit about this, talk about the expansions and the location shield and power shield.
Cool.
So Rob, what's up?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I get this question a lot in support. That's why I want to jump on real quick. So the way that this is kind of set up, so the SEO Power Shield is everything you have, right? The location shields, if you already have a syndication network and you don't need the syndication network. And if you do the starter, it just doesn't come with an ID page. Okay, so the way you can set this up is you order the brand. So the SEO Power Shields, the full thing, starting fresh. It gives you the syndication network, the branded RYS stack, and the entity loop. Okay, so our ID page, entity frame loop, whatever you want to do. Okay, the location shield can be used for a secondary location. So similar to how you guys are talking about using just an expansion stack on its own. So it can be done as an expansion stack that already includes another entity loop for that GMB location. So you can order, so for Bradley, we'll use your tree service ones you talk about, right? Mm-hmm. So you have your top level tree service company, and then you have like 4 GMBs, right? You could set up the top level with the SEO Power Shield. So that's the full branded, it doesn't have a specific location. And then each one of those GMB locations, I want to make that very clear, because we've had someone try to order for every neighborhood that they're coming after, they try to order a location shield. And the location shield is for, when we talk about locations, we're talking about a GMB map location, not just random suburbs that you're trying to target. You don't need a location shield for every suburb, right? So you can order a location shield. As part of the order process, we'll ask for the logins to the already created branded stack, similar to what we do for expansion stacks. And what that does is that then also creates the entity loop for that entity / individual GMB location. So you'd end up with, if you have, let's say, 4 locations, you'll have a branded Power Shield and 4 location shields. You can do it that way. What that'll get you is the expansion stack like you guys are talking about, but it also gets you an entity loop for each of the GMB locations to build their own press release, their own GMB map embeds, business side embeds, because they're all going to have that. So,
but the reason why I haven't used the location shields was because it was another G site each time.
It won't, when you order, it'll ask you, right? So you can create a new Google site, yes, if you don't have one at all.
That's how, the reason I brought that up was because in the past I had ordered SEO location shields and I would get a separate G site, and not because I ordered it that, like, it's not because I asked for it. I would just come with another G site for that location. And I said, well, that's not what I want, because I've been building power to the branded G site of the original SEO Power Shield. So I want everything built as silos in that original G site So that's why I switched to doing RYS expansion stacks. And then for the ID pages, again, I just clone my own ID pages because it's super simple. That's
Yeah,
why.
you're creating them yourself. I understand
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
with
but
the, and that's
super,
been a
super
while
simple.
back.
Yeah, hang on a second. They're super
Go ahead.
simple for us who do this on a daily basis, not
Right.
for people who are
Right.
coming on and they don't know and they want one built out the right way. And before you
Right.
go on, Rob,
Right.
let me just say that the beginning of all this, how I always start my projects is keyword research. I can't do anything without some kind of data to target. Once I have that, then that gets turned over to the team when the SEO PowerShield is built out, because they need the information. But maybe not the builders, because they need more the information. But of course, at the ID level, I'm going to need schema. So if Rob is with me, then I get him to do the schema. And if not, then I'm going to have the schema done through our templates in the Heavy Hitter Club. But I need that information also, because if we're not referencing the nodes correctly, then it's going to be that much more work. Once I have that in place, the syndication network's going, that comes back, the ad ID page then gets ordered, and that comes back, then the drive stack and GSite get built out with all of that information and the keyword research that I've already had done, but that's done to create relevance. At the top level, when that's getting built out, it's just the brand.
Yeah.
And nothing else. Now the way that we've done it is, and as Rob is saying, you get a choice whether you want an additional GSite built out, or if it's going to be an expansion of
We updated the order intake form,
Yes.
probably since you did that last, Bradley,
Yes.
where it asks, is this an expansion to an already branded stack, and
Yeah, that
asks
must
for the
have been
login
updated.
details.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
it's been shit 6-8 months since I ordered a location shield because of that.
Right.
And I've just been using RYS expansions. But yeah, if that's an option now, then shit. Then I can stop doing my own ID pages. I'll just have you guys.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then
That's why we updated it. And part of it was we updated it based on the errors we were getting from where you were saying we weren't asking the appropriate question of, is this an expansion location of an already brand, or is this a new G site where all you had was a syndication network? Because it can be used for either. But based on how you answer that question now in the intake of, is this a part of already a branded stack? If it is, then give us your login details and we'll make it an expansion. So
Yeah.
I wanted to just clarify that because I knew there was some confusion around it, and we've been getting some emails. I'll probably shoot a video anyway, just kind of to summarize what I'm trying to say here, and post that on the site as well eventually.
Cool. Thanks,
And-
Rob.
All right, since what I do is order the keyword research right from the beginning, what happens is when everything comes back, and I've been working on the money site, and I've been siloing the money site and creating the categories, I have already some kind of framework to go by, because our keyword research sets up those categories. The client can give us the categories, or we can give the client suggestions for the categories. I know they are suggestions. The client always knows the market better than we do, whatever niche they're going after. But at least you have that, so that when you then build out the money site and you start to build the categories, you already have the information to provide the team for when they do the expansions. So this is all done so that it works in conjunction. You order the keyword research, you order the SEO PowerShield, you go and work on that money site, you apply the keyword research, you build out your categories. When you get everything delivered back, it's ready for your expansion. So you can just submit the expansions if your website is ready to go. If you have a location page on your website, it should be an expansion. If you have a services page on your website, it should be an expansion. On the G site, all of these things need to take place because of what we call, and it's not ours, give credit to Network Empire, theme mirroring, which simply means you apply a mirror to your website. Seriously. And whatever you see in that image is what you do on that G site. But
And the drive folders,
right?
and the press releases, and the GMB website, and
Everything.
link posts.
Everything gets theme mirrored. Everything gets copied. but we're only going to teach you how. We can tell you conceptually what it is that you need to do, but the only place that you're going to get the nitty gritty on how this all gets bolted on you, and you've seen the trainings in the Heavy Hitter Club. It's where we show you, and I actually diagram it out and show you where the link building needs to go to have the greatest effect. And I show you how it goes: money site, drive stack, and GSite, GMB post, press releases, and then how link building will have the greatest effect when it goes downstream into your money site. But without all of these different things in place, it's never going to have the effect that it's supposed to, unless you're working in a niche that has such low competition that a drive stack and GSite and some theme mirroring will take care of everything, and you're going to rank and start getting results. Right?
It happens from time to time.
It happens.
Yeah, from time to time. So, Danaman, he's the one who was asking the questions about saying he's having issues with ordering links, Rob. So, yeah. In fact, he just followed up and posted a couple more times, and he was saying that last time you had to send him a special link to purchase. Be happy to jump on a live screen share to show whoever needs to know. So it looks like he's having continual trouble with his account specifically. I don't know, Rob, if there's some way that somebody could accommodate him to try to get it worked out.
Yeah, contact support, Dan. They'll be able to help you. This is an issue where our the MGYB dashboard is trying to communicate with the WooCommerce ordering system. And sometimes they get out of sync, and it requires that special link they send you to resync those passwords like you've done in the past. I'm not sure why your account continues to maybe do it more often than others. It could be where you're purposely logging out or clearing cache or doing different things in your browser that's getting them to unsync. Mm-hmm. With the new system that we're launching next week or over the weekend, that should be taken care of. So that's why we didn't put a lot of effort into fixing it in this old system, because it's taking care of it in the new one. So it's kind of one of those, doesn't happen to everybody, but when it does, yes, I understand it's a complete pain in the butt, but it's going to be fixed in the new system. So that's why we didn't try to go backwards and fix it in a system that's on its way out anyway. So contact support, they'll help you. They'll have to send you that link where it auto logs you in, because that does more than just auto log you in. It syncs the two dashboards that are trying to communicate. It syncs the passwords. So.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit to Grant, because Grant said my question about a single posting manager was geared to for avoiding the dirty API associated with posting tools that Marco recently mentioned in a Hump Day Hangout. Are you saying it's safe to tie multiple GMBs together in a manager account for this purpose? I thought this was a risky move for getting suspensions. I mean, you know, Grant, and by the way, it's been a while, Grant, so good to see you here, buddy. I have a manager account tied to a bunch of GMBs that are precisely the type of GMBs that you have, right? Maybe different industry, but the same, same type of GMB, right? So I've not really had a problem with that. I've not had a problem with a manager account taking down GMBs. I've had a owner's account that takes down GMBs, but not a manager account. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying I haven't experienced that. So I do have several manager accounts that have multiple GMBs. One is with as many as 20 something, 23, 24, something like that. But I do try to split it up so, to where I don't have like a ton of them all in one account. But as I was mentioning, I've been using it. And again, I was using probably the same tool you were when there was some significant issues with it. So I bailed on that immediately when Marco brought it to my attention, and thank God I didn't lose a single thing. But I started using, and again, they're out there, they're a dime a dozen, but social media posting apps are good to tie to a GMB if they have GMB posting functionality, because not the SEO, not the GMB SEO tools, because I think those potentially are raising a flag. And again, I don't know this to be true, because there's a ton of them out there now. It's not just, there's not just one or two of them. There's many of them out there now, like the GMB SEO tools that also do posting and GeoGrid reports and all these other kinds of things. And I don't use any of those anymore. I use BrightLocal to generate GeoGrid reports, but BrightLocal doesn't do GMB posting or anything. And then I use a social media posting app that also ties to GMB. to do posting. And I use, I'm using EasyClout, which because they had an AppSumo deal. And then I bought several of those. And what I like about the EasyClout app, and again, you can just go to AppSumo and find GMB or apps that will allow you to social media posting apps that will also post to GMB. And I don't know if EasyClout still has their deal going on, but what I did was I bought several EasyClout professional plans or whatever, lifetime deals, and they allow up to 8 profiles for any one platform in each account. So what I do is I have multiple EasyClout accounts now with 8 GMBs in them. And my VAs log into the EasyClout account to do the GMB posting and all that kind of stuff, so that they're not actually, I don't have to ask all my different clients or all my different lead gen. I don't have to make my bloggers and VAs managers of each one of those GMBs. I just add the GMBs to EasyClout, and then I give them access to EasyClout so they can all post to them, if that makes sense. And I've got them separated into groups, so I don't have any more, like, you know, each EasyClout account has 8 GMBs in it. Does that make sense? So everything is split up the way that I do it, but that's just the way that I do it. But like I said, I don't particularly like using the GMB posting apps anymore, like the you know, the GMB SEO tools that connect via API, because I feel like that's like just asking for Google to come scrutinize what you're doing. And I would have used those tools had that not have happened in the last couple of months, where there was an issue with one of those tools. And I said, no, I tucked my tail between my legs and ran away as fast as I could. And I don't think I'll ever go back to those tools, because I just want to be safer, if that makes sense. Anybody want to comment on that?
Yeah, the problem isn't the SEO software per se. The problem is how the SEO software is applied, and the way
who's using it.
The way that the API was being abused,
Right.
was, and the reason why it was being used and how it was being abused was such that Google took notice, and a whole lot of suspensions started occurring.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, good riddance, because if you have clients and you're trusting that software for clients, then, you know, you know, what do they say? Be careful of the people you hang around with, right? Because it's a reflection on you, not on them. So the people that you hang around with, it's like the dirty neighborhood in the server. If you're in a dirty neighborhood, then you will be tagged as dirty, even though you might not be doing anything dirty. That it's the same thing. So even though you in that software might not be doing anything, the ones who are muddy the API, and it's the same API for everyone. Yep. And that's when the problems happen. And if you get suspended through those, it's really hard to recover that. And especially if like Grant says, what you have is assets a la POFU1. Remember those?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no way to recover those. So protect them. And what I would tell you is, listen, if you've been using posting software, then keep doing it. Don't change, because that might be an issue. Or as Bradley's recommending, go to something that's just for that purpose and for nothing else.
Right.
Like the call to the API is simply to post, or to do your post and your image, to do your post and the video, and that's it. If that's the case, then you should have no issues. And of course, don't start testing and everything all at once. Do one and start adding them in over a period of time to see how everything reacts. You should be good to go.
I wonder if it's only showing me as the top review because I was unlogged. I don't know. Am I even logged in? No, I'm not. That's crazy. Look, my review is the top review. That's crazy. And so I'm not lying, guys. I use the shit out of this. I love this app. It's great. The guy, Bill, whoever the developer is, he's on the support chat all the time. If you ever have any issues, he's incredibly responsive. I find this app to be great. I wish I've already asked him if he would, open up some sort of an agency plan so I can connect more accounts to it than just 8 at a time. But he said that he didn't have any plans for that just yet. But he said, I asked him, I said, well, then fine. Can I buy multiple accounts so that I can, because I manage way more than just 8 GMBs. And he was like, yeah, I don't see any problem with that. So that's what I did. I bought several of the premium. It's $99 lifetime deal, dude. It's so much cheaper than any of the other stuff. And it's a great app. I only use it for GMB posting, for nothing else. And my VAs like it. It's real simple to use. So anyways, I recommend this. and they still have the AppSumo deal going. So I would.
I'm seeing it at 59 in AppSumo.
Well, that's for only 4 accounts. Then there's one for 79, which is 6 accounts, and then there's one for 99, which is not 8 accounts, which is what I've been buying. So
Cool.
it's a great app, very inexpensive. I actually canceled, like I said, some of my other tools that were costing me, $100 a month or whatever they were, just to use these now, and I like it. I think it's a really it manages all these other social media apps too, but like I said, I just use it specifically for GMB posting, and that's it. And it's a great tool. So there you go. Okay, let's see. Grant says, yes, makes sense. Thanks, Brady. I need to make some changes soon. You're welcome, Grant. Anytime, buddy. And Adrian says, I just checked the Heavy Hitter Club site, but it says how to make a file or a folder public only if you have someone or another account that does have a file or folder public. Any help, guys? Rob, you want to tell them where to find that inside the Heavy Hitter Club?
So the way to do it inside there is if you have a file or folder public. But if you watch the video, it'll show you how to share that with any. You only have to have an account. So I'm sure you have one account that you have access to that has one public. So you can utilize someone else's account, share the folder, make it public, and then give it back. So I walk through step by step through that.
You just gave it away here, so.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of steps to do it.
It's not that simple.
Okay.
It's not that simple.
It's Google being Google. You got to do a few things to be able to transfer it back and keep it public and things like that. So
You got to hold your tongue just right. That's what you're
right,
saying.
you got to stand on one foot and be
Yeah.
facing southwest.
Yeah.
Now the other way, which is the MGYB way, we're not sharing with anybody. You could always get a drive stack from MGYB. That'll come public.
As long as you have one account anywhere that has a public folder, then you can do the process I show in the video. Because I
Buy
utilize
one from
more than one.
MGYB
Yeah, so you can buy one from MGYB and then use that as your public file creator. so
as
to
your
speak.
seed.
Yeah, there you go. Your seed set.
Sweet. Well, it's about 5 o'clock. I think it's about 4 minutes ahead of the top of the hour. So I think we can wrap it up. There's no other questions. So thanks, guys. Hey, Rob, thanks for jumping in, man. Good to see you.
Hey, no problem, guys.
Or good to hear you, I should say.
Yeah.
All right, guys. See you.